So Black Pound Day, set up by Swiss, now running on the first Saturday of every month. Idea is to support the economic interest of black business, raise the profile. You've just set up a black business. How have you been involved in Black Pound Day, if at all? And what are your thoughts on Black Pound Day more generally?
It's like, I don't think any of us can deny it's amazing. Like the initiative, like I never thought about doing anything like that. I don't think any of us thought about it. But then when Swiss said, right, this is what we're doing, everyone's like, you know what? Let's all jump on this and let's do it. So amazing initiative. You know, having a black business ourselves, it's definitely something that we can benefit from. However, I think there are some areas of it that probably need a bit of refining. Sure. So buying a product or paying for a service from a black owned business, we just need some help on how we are marketing our businesses, how we're actually running our businesses. So an example is like having a Caribbean takeaway. Like Caribbean takeaways don't necessarily have a good rep.
Yeah, I would go as far as to say as they have a bad one.
They have a bad one.
You take away the necessarily, they don't have a bad
You know, call a spade a spade. They have a bad rep, and it's stuff like your customer service. I think it's the first bit. Like the food is always, well, decent.
If you get it.
If you get it.
If they have it, yeah.
If it's available.
Exactly.
But the customer service, like service with a smile. And we, this is not me just putting it out there. As black people, we know sometimes the customer service just needs a little bit more effort. So even though I know I'm going to get, you know, stewed chicken and rice and peas, it's an experience, isn't it? Regardless of where we go, it's an experience. If I was going to the local supermarket and like people just throwing my stuff as they were scanning it, that experience is not really going to make me want to go back. I think that's the same for services that black owned businesses are responsible for, because black owned businesses, it's not about attraction, it's about retention. If you cannot retain customers, call it a day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can get me to come to your new restaurant or, you know, something new that you've set up, but if you can't retain me, your business within the next 3 to 4 years is going to die. And we know, irrespective of being black, most startup businesses fail.
Yeah. So the Black Room is a safe space. It's a place where you can just let loose, whatever it is you're thinking, feeling. I mean, the idea is the prompt conversation. And I would love to know genuinely what your experience has been with black-owned businesses. And equally, I'd like to know what you plan on doing, whether that's leveraging what you've seen, if it's been a good experience, or correcting what you've seen it's been a bad experience in your own business. Yeah,
you know, my experience has been okay. And I feel like I want to say more and say, yeah, it's been amazing, and but it's just been okay.
And does okay mean like a 5 out of 10?
It is like a 5 out of 10. I know it's not great, but if we're being real and this is the safe space, it's more of a 5 out of 10. So just sticking on the experience of Caribbean takeaways, or it could be African takeaways, because there's a lot of those coming up and about. It's the customer service, it's the efficiency of how you produce whatever your product is. So if your product is food, how you produce it. Am I waiting in the shop for 20 minutes for a bowl of soup? For a takeaway? Have you opened on time? Like you're telling me your shop opens at 11 a.m. to start lunch, but I go to the shop, I had this in Tottenham, I go to the shop at like midday or 20 past 12. The shop's not open.
Not getting the basics.
No sticker, no signage saying why you're not open. And then all of a sudden somebody just comes walking and you're like, okay, you're opening up the shop. Yeah, you're late. And they just look at you blank.
Let's try and get underneath that a little bit. What do you think is behind that?
A lot of it is cultural. If you go back home to any Caribbean or African country, it's a slow pace. Being British born and, you know, grown up and understanding that when I mean fast food, I mean fast food. When I mean takeaway, I mean I need to come in and take it away as soon as possible, not wait. And a lot of those businesses where we have really good skills in cooking or producing. It might be a hairstylist, a barber's. Like, I know my husband goes to a barber's, but he has to be there the whole day.
That's a whole day experience.
I don't know for you guys if it's the same experience.
It is for me. That's your day done. So what is it that we need? Is it either we need to temper our expectations of black businesses, or black businesses need to step up?
I would say black business need to step up, but we need to equip them with the tools to be able to do so.
Mm-hmm.
So we as consumers, or we as who? Who's
we as in, we go back to the council supporting these black businesses. So a lot of white businesses have had a step up in society way before we came into the UK and started setting up businesses. So mentoring, coaching. So the coaching side of stuff will equip you with the skills to understand how some of your traits, whether it's your personality traits, whether it's the traits on how you perceive business or your business acumen, like coaching will help you build that. Whereas mentoring is like, when you say you're going to open at 11 o'clock, you need to be there to open up at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
We need to create mentorship. We need to create coaching. We need to create resources that show people actually doing these things is revenue generating.
Yeah.
So if you want to make more money, you need to do these things.
Yeah.
There's some simple things that you need to do in order to attract, retain your customers. If you don't do these things, say goodbye to your business. And where you said, is this a safe space? I would say we have to get better at that side of stuff.
Yep.
And if we don't know how to do it because we are new to an industry or we're new to a service, you need to pay money to get to understand what you need to do to make your business survive. And if you're not good at customer service, and it's like some people like are just not good at it. Like I know my husband, he's good at cooking, so you stay in the kitchen. Okay, you stay in the kitchen. And if I'm not there because I've got my own full-time job, you need to then employ somebody £10 an hour to do it.
Yeah.
Because at least they will be able to bring those customers back. But if you're doing it and you're cooking, you've got on some bashment music, the chicken's not ready, you've still got to defrost it, you've lost it really.
Yeah. So I know you've got a question, sorry. One more question that I want to ask. What is our responsibility as consumers then? Where, I mean, in your experience, what is useful to you? What is helpful to you? What is not? What do we have a responsibility as consumers to do? Because I would love to see more black businesses doing well. But I like what I like, I need what I need, I want it when I want it. Do you know what I mean? So if it's not coming from a black business, then I'll get it from wherever it's coming from. But I would love to see more black businesses thrive. So as a consumer, what are my responsibilities?
We've got a massive responsibility, and I've not done it, but I'm going to do it. So I bought some stuff from during Black Pound Day on both occasions, so it's only been done twice now. Our responsibility as consumers is to give honest and concise feedback. That should be our first one. And do it in a constructive way. Like, don't go straight onto Google and write a review that is damning. But when we do get something, we need to go back to these businesses, and it's not up to par. Go back to these businesses and say, you know what, I really like this side of whatever the product is that you was given, but actually I feel that you could do this and that better. Now it's about how that business or how the, you know, that business owner takes that feedback. Some of them will be like, crap, don't care. And then others will be like, you know what, I really need to think about this. But that's our own personal responsibility. So buying something and then saying, oh, this is crap, I'm not buying it again. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go to Tesco's or Sainsbury's to buy what I usually buy. We're not helping those businesses try and change. And we should do that as a standard procedure because we owe it to our community.
Made me feel bad now.
You know, my question is similar, but I'm gonna give it a backdrop.
Okay.
So, 5.9 million small and medium businesses in the UK, of which 5% of those are non-white owned. So by that I mean that if 50% or more of the businesses has got ownership of an ethnic minority, it will fall into that category.
Right.
Now, if we get underneath that and we look at black owned, so of that 15%, of that 5%, sorry, 9% are Caribbean owned, 6% African owned, so 15%. So overall, 0.56% of businesses in the UK, small and medium businesses, are black owned. Right. So with the context of what we just discussed around supporting businesses, giving feedback, but we also know what we want.
Yeah.
So what is our responsibility as the consumer in the interim? So if I'm a business, I've just listened to this podcast, for example, I think, you know, I need to do more. It's going to take me time. It's going to be a journey. But you've already brought from it. And you considered that wasn't really good enough. is your responsibility now to continue to buy from them, or is it fair enough as a consumer saying, you know, I tried you once, sorry, I've given you the feedback, that's it.
Yeah.
How do we go about?
Please.
I think it's fair enough. I think it's fair enough because each of us, our coins are, you know, our money, our salary is important to us. And we're not going to continue to buy things that are not up to par just because it's a black-owned business. And I don't think we should have that responsibility to have to do that. And so, personally, I want to buy where I want to buy. But right now, given the movement, and I know I've definitely changed in terms of my mindset and how I spend my money, how I spend my coins. But I'm not going to continue to give to a black business just because it's a black business, because we need to shop black owned. Yeah. Right. Think about how you can improve, as I said, your service or your product, because I will come back, I may come back, but I need to see that you're putting in some effort. I can't continue to fund something that I don't really like.
I think I agree. I'll tell you what it is for me. I feel as though if a product is of a high standard, so if I order food and that food is banging, or if I order clothes and those clothes are robust and well made, but the experience in that process is not ideal, then I'm prepared to give a business another chance. If I have a substandard experience and then get a substandard product, I'm kind of done.
So there's levels to
it. But I do feel like it's interesting because I feel like I know how I'm wired naturally, and that is my dough is limited, my time is limited, and my patience is equally limited. And therefore I struggle to reconcile the idea of spending money where I've spent money before for a substandard service. And consequently, I don't think I'm naturally wired to go back to, because it feels like you're asking for your own punishment again. I'm going to give you some more money so you can mug me off one more time. But I recognise that there is something that we have to do, and I think it's important that we hear from people like you, who are in the process, so that we know how best we can be effective on things like Black Pound Day.